From Silicon Slopes, I'm your host, Josh Matches, and I'm joined by Tyrone Pike, the CEO of FileShadow. Thank you so much for joining us.
Josh, it's great to be here with you.
It is so nice to see you back. I feel like we've been talking for years at this conference as you continue to grow FileShadow. So for our audience, tell us a little bit about FileShadow and what you guys do.
Okay, FileShadow was developed here in Utah and is now being used in 88 countries around the world with 3,000 customers. So we protect the content that you have on your machines and in the cloud and put them into a fully searchable, artificial intelligence-driven vault. That's the best way to think about it, vaulting all your content so it's at your fingertips. The other thing that's happened is that a lot of things have become very virtual in the world of Windows and in the world of Mac. The storage now is all being put in either iCloud or OneDrive or Dropbox or Box, and nothing is actually resolving to the local machine. So we've been able to protect all that and make that all right at the fingertips of the customers we have around the world. We have a very large amount of activity in Asia, near Asian, India, Pakistan, believe it or not, Afghanistan, where people have a lot of content that they're really worried will be kind of taken away by some governmental thing. So that's what's going on. And we're right in the middle of a fundraise. We're raising $20 million, hopefully to close in the next week.
That's very exciting. Well, you heard it here first. But I think the most interesting thing about your business is the pandemic has accelerated digital transformation in such a big way, and also security concerns around data and privacy. So talk to us about how has that accelerated your business model and the ways customers are coming to you?
Yeah, well, you just hit it right on the head, the issue of the pandemic and people working from home. Because if you think before, larger companies had a smaller perimeter that they were dealing with. Then you push everyone out to their home and you suddenly have to protect things there. It's crazy. So what we have found is that the people that are actually out there are desperate to find ways to protect their content. And so we have found ways to make that really coherent for large corporations and for small, SMB and prosumers. And we don't think that's going to change too much. We think that as the pandemic kind of wanes and then possibly we have other variants, people are still going to spend a fair amount of time from home. And so that's going to be the perimeter and we're going to have to protect it.
Absolutely.
Big thing for us in this next year is we have moved into supporting direct protection of that, which is on iPhones, iPads, and we will release in the next 30 days our Android solutions, which are both for Android and Android tablets. Those are doing extremely well, especially when you look at the whole rest of the world. About 87% of the world is running on some form of an Android, which is pretty amazing.
Massive market.
Yeah, and then the last kind of big thing for us to tell you about is we're now supporting email. So we will now actually archive off all of the content that you bring in through email. So it's all your storage and your email. A lot of people use email as their storage.
Of course. People send stuff to themselves all the time.
Yes. So that's kind of what's going on. The fundraising will allow us to reach more people, both domestically and abroad. And it's a fascinating world. It's a world that has become much more attuned to protecting content.
It's a really exciting moment. And so for FileShadow, how has it been to kind of keep up with demand, particularly with just the increased level of having to, all of these companies having to, deal with these cloud data?
We're very fortunate to be partnered with Google. And in fact, all of our compute that we do is all on top of Google Cloud. And so they have built some really innovative ways of dynamically scaling that. Google Cloud Functions, instance groups, other things like that. So we have had no trouble whatsoever, which a lot of people would be having a hard time believing, but we have not had any trouble scaling within the Google environment. It does it beautifully.
Amazing. It seems like you're in positioned well for the future as you guys continue to
Well,
grow.
we're pretty excited about it. We've actually got a group that's asking us to really help sub-Saharan Africa, because there's a lot of new ways that are being, should we say, made more commercial, and there's some new satellite offerings that are going to bring connectivity to sub-Saharan Africa. And so that's kind of a little subtext. A year from now, we can talk about,
Very exciting.
whether we've been able to do anything to help sub-Saharan Africa become more engaged, because at this moment, most of the connectivity in Africa is over on the east and west coast where the fiber drops off. But in the middle of hard to get connected.
Well, you have the upcoming funding round. What's next for FileShadow as you continue to grow your business?
Biggest single thing will be to partner with people in what we would call the family history and the whole genealogy world. That continues to be a very, very rich offering for us, very much driven by some of the companies that are here in Silicon Slopes. And then probably for the biggest part of us, we're doing a lot of work that's more what you would expect of law firms, accounting firms, and people that are just managing family history.
Amazing. Well, Tyrone, it's always a pleasure to see you. Hopefully it won't be 2 years before we get to talk again. And so I look forward to seeing you at Silicon Slopes next year.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.